Okay, so how's everybody doing? I was wanting to talk about communication relationships and Sniglets. If you remember from Saturday Night Live, it originally started, there was this thing called a Sniglet, which was sort of a word in English that wasn't present, and so it was invented. Just nonsense words that, like one I remember was cinema scum, which meant all of the junk that was left on the floor of a movie theater or something. Like the mixed up pieces of popcorn and candy and junk that sticks to your feet when you walk through the theater. I'm sure that you have seen for a couple that's been together for a long period of time, maybe your parents or grandparents or somebody, that when they convey different types of communication, that sometimes it just takes a simple look or one word that may seem very random to you, but is definitely not a non sequitur to them. It's absolutely part of a very long conversation that they've been having probably for years. Anything at all where they'll remind one another of something, but you have no idea how they even know what they're talking about because it sounds so obscure to you. Um, for instance, if I'm reminding my husband of someone, I can give the most obscure details about how I think he would have recalled that person, and it's accurate, and he'll say, oh, immediately he knows who I'm talking about. Other people who have heard that just look, in amazement because they can't imagine why I'm listing the details that I am, because those seem very insignificant to them. So it's obvious that I know what he remembers. It's kind of funny. So there's a sniglet that it's actually more of a phrase that my husband and I use to refer to a particular situation, and I wanted to tell you how we came to it because it's kind of a funny little story. So the phrase is, "'cause you gotta get to Wasilla," and people are familiar with Wasilla now because of Sarah Palin, but when he and I refer to Wasilla, it has nothing to do with her at all, but rather the fact that we lived in Anchorage, Alaska from like 94 to 97. And we would frequently go and visit, friends that were out in Wasilla. So my husband had bought a, he had bought a blue microbus, a VW bus. It was this beautiful teal color. Anyway, and it didn't have an engine. So I guess he must have used some kind of tow strap. I don't remember how he got it out to Wasilla. But we were coordinating how we were going to get the engine there. And we were also talking about, why were we bringing it to Wasilla, and it had to do with my friend who was holding it on her property, and that she didn't mind that we could leave it there. So we left it there all winter. And in the spring when we were there digging it out, I remember him standing inside the vehicle and literally pushing up the roof because it had bowed in from the weight of the snow, and laughing about that after we dug it out. So we were talking about all these heroic measures that we were going to have to go through. Were we going to tow it back to Anchorage? How are we going to get the engine to Wasilla? All of these steps that we had to take, and it was becoming really complicated when we were trying to do something very simple. Have a vehicle, have an engine, put them together, get that taken care of. But it became all of these side things, and there's even a place in between the two cities called Eagle River, and I think at one time we even mentioned this third city, which was right between the two of them, because if he had a problem, he was going to go to Eagle River in case blah-de-da-da-da. Well, long story short, really, we never ever married the engine to the vehicle and ended up, I guess, just giving the pink slip when we left to our friend, and I don't even know what she did with the vehicle. So, whenever we have a situation, that seems to be requiring a lot of very complicated steps, and it's taking a long time to achieve something that may or may not be simple, but the end result is, you know, a sensible desire. It's a something that makes sense. It's not like an unreasonable desire. We call that because you had to get to Wasila. And if you find yourself in a situation where you have all these steps you have to take, and some of them may even seem like side steps, now you have a way you can refer to it because you got to get to Wasila. Now people will probably think you're talking about Sarah Palin, and you'll have to explain to them that that is definitely not the truth, unless that's your political bent, and then you can probably strike up a good conversation with someone, or a confusing conversation, or an awkward conversation. But anyway, now you have a new sniglet. So if you have a sniglet, or a little word that you like to use to refer to something that's not originally in the English language and you would like to share it, I would love to hear it in the comments below. Or if you'd like to make a video response, I would like to hear it. And hope y'all are doing well. Keep the company of those people that you love to your warm and nurture your heart. Wishing you all best of health, bright blessings. This is Yoke Angel 7. Take care. Bye.